Within a minute we'll be having the review of the survey. Dashboard వస్తుంది మనందరి ముందుకు. Telugu and English both languages available గా ఉన్నాయి. We have the following questions. ఈ రోజుల్లో ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ఒక కుటుంబానికి ఎంతమంది పిల్లలు ఉండటం అనుకూలమని మీరు భావిస్తున్నారు? You have your options also. Dashboard please. So there it is. ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో ఒక కుటుంబానికి ఎంతమంది పిల్లలు ఉండటం అనుకూలమని మీరు భావిస్తున్నారంటే 67.41% of the people they said 2, 19.88 more than 2 అన్నారు, 12.34% 1, 0.37% అసలు ఒపీనియన్ ఇవ్వలేదు. We have 1,000 or more samples. And the second question is, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో యువ జనాభా తగ్గిపోతుంది మరియు పిల్లల సంఖ్య కూడా తగ్గుతుంది. మీకు ఈ విషయం తెలుసా? 79.38% people knew this. 20.62% వాళ్ళకి ఈ విషయం తెలియదని రెస్పాన్స్ ఇచ్చారు. అండ్ ద థర్డ్ వన్, యువ జనాభా తగ్గిపోతుంది అన్నదానికి మీరు ఏమి కారణంగా భావిస్తున్నారు? What do you think is the reason for decreasing young population? Migration away from the state. Young people don't want to get married. Young couples don't want children. Young couples want only child. Any other or please specify any? ఈ విధంగా 306 people migration away from the state అంటున్నారు. 220 is young people don't want to get married. 213 is young people don't want children. And 310 people are saying young couples want only one child. And the fourth one, ఒకటి కంటే ఎక్కువ పిల్లలను కలిగి ఉండాలనుకునే దంపతులకు ఎదురయ్యే ప్రధాన సవాలు ఏంటి? What is the biggest challenge for couples who are planning to have more than one children? High child rearing expenses, house education, healthcare 418 అంటున్నారు. No stable income or job 334 people are suggesting that. Infertility, hormonal imbalance or health concerns 33 people. Lack of support from family or society 11. Change in lifestyle and preferences is 13. And the fifth question, వృద్ధులకు అత్యవసరంగా అవసరమైన మద్దతు ఏమిటి? What kind of support do elder people need the most? Easy access to nearby hospitals or doctors, that is 33.95. Regular pension without delays 275 అంటున్నారు. Respect and attention from family and society 90. Assistance at home or from community workers is 33. More public places and programs where they can stay active 7. Living close to their son or daughter is 48. And the sixth question, పిల్లలు ఉమ్మడి కుటుంబంలో అంటే తాతలు బంధువులతో కలిసి పెరగడం మంచిదని మీరు భావిస్తున్నారా? Do you think children grow up better in a joint family setup with grandparents and extended family? Yes, joint families provide better care and emotional support 549. Sometimes it depends upon the family situation 197. Nuclear families are better for raising children 53. Some people are not sure about it. And the seventh one, యువత తమ జీవితం మరియు కుటుంబాన్ని ప్రణాళికాబద్ధం చేయటంలో ఏం సహాయపడుతుంది? What can help youth plan their life and family better? Counseling and guidance about career and family health. Opportunities for skill enhancement to assure employability. Initial support to take up self-employment opportunities 148 people చెప్తున్నారు. Schemes for affordable housing, healthcare and education is 55. Financial support for marriage and starting a family 7. Eighth question, ఉద్యోగంలో ఉన్న మహిళలు పని మరియు కుటుంబ బాధ్యతలను సమతుల్యం చేసుకోవడంలో ప్రభుత్వ మద్దతు ఎలా ఉండాలి? Work from home facility 273, longer maternity leave 93, flexible working hours 339, daycare facilities for children of working professions at workplace 40, incentives promoting women entrepreneurship is 36, family awareness on sharing responsibilities is 29. And the ninth question, ప్రజలు ఎక్కువ మంది పిల్లలు కలిగి ఉండేందుకు ప్రభుత్వ మద్దతు ఎలా ఉండాలి? What kind of government support would encourage people to have more children? Providing financial support and incentives 273, providing financial support Availability of quality education is 228. Regular counseling campaigns from health experts and doctors is 29. No support is required from the government is 9. Any other support is 40. Also, they have given several reviews. I cannot read out all of them. So that is the pulse of public, sir. We have to put this in front of you. So this is how the people are taking it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the wonderful review. And the moment that we all have been waiting for. ప్రతి విషయంలో ఇది సాధ్యమా, అసలు ఎలా సాధ్యం అని అనుకున్న ప్రతి డౌట్కి, ప్రతి క్వశ్చన్కి చేసి చూపిస్తాను అని ముందుకు నడిచే ధీశాలి. స్వర్ణాంధ్ర డెవలప్మెంట్కి, అభివృద్ధికి ఆహారహం కృషి చేస్తున్న నిత్య కృషి వాళ్ళు. Andhra is fortunate to have a chief minister who just not dreams but visions the future, whose mind always thinks ahead of time. The man, the myth, the legend, the Chanakya of modern times. Today's chief guest and Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, is requested to give the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome today's chief guest and Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, is requested to address the gathering. I hope I'm all clear. For the English version, we have QR codes given being displayed on each table. I request all the participants to fill the questionnaire and provide the valuable inputs. ఇది జరుగుతున్న ప్రక్రియలో I invite Dr. Jalal M. Tafasi, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF Public Health Specialist, to summarize the key points from the talks by the key experts.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and Honorable Chief Minister. It is a delight and an honor to be with all of you today. I've been given the task of summarizing what has happened this morning, and I must say that it feels as if a UNICEF person has written almost all the speeches, because it has been a very child-centric and very forward-looking contributions that have happened. And if you give me an opportunity to quickly summarize each of the sessions. We've had excellent speakers from Dr. Rajiv Achaya, from Dr. Prakasama, and Dr. Subramaniaman, who took us through data, information, reasoned arguments as to what should happen within this policy. Without question, every single one was in agreement that a draft policy that is really integrated with society, that has the opportunity for consultation and a really thought out passage would be an ideal document. And the fact that you've just launched a draft policy says the kind of commitment you already have for that kind of consultation. Second, there was significant data that was mentioned by the various speakers that referred to changing times and the numbers in terms of the fertility rates. One common thread across all the speakers was that declining fertility rates is not a local issue. It's not just in Andhra, but it is a global issue. And I am summarizing and paraphrasing. And within that global issue, there were also good examples that were taken from different countries that are going through these kind of changes in an attempt to marry those lessons from the countries that are facing those declines and what we are looking at today. By and large, there were really good points, especially that were noted from Turkey, that showed that pro-natal policies hardly ever changed the game, but also highlighted that the kinds of economies that we're talking about are very different from our own and where we stand today. That those economies are already developed, that they're already standing on multiple years of developed status, but this is not changing the picture. There was also really good inputs from Dr. Prakasama, who emphasized that we take caution in developing a new policy, but she stressed, and I know she didn't have a whole lot of time at the end, but she stressed the importance of investments today in children, in systems that look after children from early childhood to skilling in adulthood, in adolescence and through adulthood, as a way to gain the most out of the population dividend that we could have. And I must say, this is completely in line with UNICEF's thinking and UNICEF's approaches. There was significant echoing that happened about the investments that are required also from Dr. Subramanian, who really even gave us the points to consider upcoming and new data as part of our consultations, that we should look at NFHS 6 and upcoming data points in order to formalize the thoughts around this. From a perspective of investments today in children, there are many questions that come up, and you will give me permission to go off a little beyond what has been discussed from the UNICEF perspective. And this is about investments in children today. The brains that will power this economy in 20 years' time are being born now. And honestly, that is the most important investment we could make in order to achieve the population dividend. But what does that mean to invest in it? And if we were to ask everybody here, everybody will have a different opinion. But that investment means that we need to look beyond traditional approaches to our healthcare, to our care for children, for education, for protection, and we need to take a look at how we break the systems forward. Childcare needs to be, as my friend already mentioned, Dr. Suhani, who alluded to the demands and the aspirations of young women, to be looked after, to be supported through pregnancy. But we make the point that today in our state, 24 to 26 neonatal deaths per 1,000 live births. 24 to 26 mortalities of under 5 children, that is the current state. That is per 1,000. Then you add on stunting rates. 31% of children on average under 5 are stunted. These numbers imply that we need to strengthen the quality of care that allows us to maximize the potential from this youth, that would also encourage better family-friendly policies, because those are required. It is not enough to provide cash incentives, to provide handouts, but to really create the systems that are supportive at the community level, at the family level, to take the concept of parenthood not just from the perspective of the mother, but the whole family, the whole community. We do not have the traditional structures of the extended family that we had decades ago. That is changing. We are shifting a lot more to the nuclear family. But that nuclear family, for it to thrive, needs to feel safe, needs to be invested in, and needs to have the space in order to work. In practical terms, coming back onto the structures that we already have, our departments of health, WCD, education, they're all functioning at maximum capacity, and they're really trying to make those happen. But there are gaps that we still need to be able to work. One is helping the marriage of data between different systems and allowing different departments to work together to maximize the investments that we have. The little investment that goes into these departments today could have the maximum benefit for children if it is utilized in a coherent and multi-stakeholder fashion. The child needs to be at the center of the game. Dr. Suhani mentioned the woman, the young lady, should be at the center, and I'm adding on to say that a child should be at the center of that focus, which will be the one that gives us the maximum benefits. In doing that, investments that will highlight the future would be the follow-on skilling on the brains that are born today. We give them the maximum components. Skilling for adolescents for a future world is an important component. And I believe this was already alluded to by Dr. Subramanian, who mentioned on the qualities and the requirements for a future economy. He has seen that in the data he mentioned from Japan, from Hungary, from France, but that suggests that if we are able to take care of the child from here and follow through in a life cycle approach, you will have the maximum benefits. And we're looking forward to helping to enrich this draft policy collectively, I think from the conversations that have happened, to ensure that we give the maximum benefit to the future through investments today. Thank you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ ది వాల్యుబుల్ ఇన్సైట్స్. ప్రేక్షకులంతా సర్వే తీసుకున్నారని అనుకుంటున్నాం.